This is WCBS-TV Channel 2 New York, and it's time now for the 6 o'clock news with Robert Trout. Thursday, June 23rd, 1955. Here now, Robert Trout. What are we going on this Thursday, June 23rd, 1955? I'm Robert Trout. The news, what's happening? India and the Soviet Union jointly called for a complete ban on nuclear weapons and a substantial reduction on conventional armaments. A declaration signed by the Prime Minister of Nehru of India and Soviet Premier Bulgarin also expressed the earnest hope that the legitimate rights of Communist China on foreign wars could be satisfied by peaceful means. It urged the seat for Communist China in the United Nations. Medal of Honor on the return of American General Franklin Lucero returned the control of the Argentine armed forces to President Perón. He announced this in a 5-minute shortwave radio broadcast over the military network earlier. President Perón moved to discuss rumors that his cabinet had resigned by resuming his meetings with it. In Italy, Premier Scalva submitted his resignation to the Open Joy for the Communist press, which stretched his failure to rebuild the Democratic Center coalition. President Eisenhower, traveling throughout New England, stressed that the United States merely wanted to live in peace with all the world, to trade with them, to commune with them, to learn their cultures as they learn ours.
Let's begin with Bob Haller in the newsroom. Bob, what's the latest on Bergeron?
The Senate threw down by a vote of 7-4 to a resolution advanced by Senator McCarthy that sought to put restrictions on the president's participation in a forthcoming Big Four meeting. Foreign Minister Molotov of the Soviet Union appealed to the American people to join with the people of the Soviet Union to prevent a Third World War. His forum was the 10th anniversary meeting of the United Nations at San Francisco. He renewed Soviet proposals for disarmament, withdrawal of foreign troops from all of Germany, and other themes of earlier events. In a new vein, he urged a World Economic Party. General Romulo of the Philippines and other speakers called upon the member nations to reaffirm their faith in the United Nations by a special declaration. The Big Four foreign ministers agreed on procedures for the meeting of the chiefs next month at Geneva, found no common ground on issues that will be discussed there. President Eisenhower accepted the resignation of Robert T. Stevens as Secretary of the Army, named Wilbur Marion Bucker to succeed him. Mr. Bucker has been serving as General Counsel to the Defense Department. The Armed Services Committee approved the compromise bills reviving the administration's program to establish a 2.9 million man military reserves by 1960.
In the sense that back in 2011, the Bruins were down.
Senate House countries agreed on a 7.5% pay increase for federal white-collar workers. A compromise seems sure of the Senate and House approval. Tentative state plans to let local industry have half of the St. Louis power output became known as Governor Harriman's inspected the Great Hydroelectric Project. The Connecticut General Assembly approved the essential revenue and appropriation bills in a special session, a 50% increase in the gasoline tax before debates. The New Haven Railroad will start making a $5.50 a monthly charge to New York commuters on Monday who park at a station. Similar programs will be started at other Connecticut stations. 3 prominent scientists advocated halting mass vaccinations against polio, pending a concentrated effort to produce a safer vaccine with regularly. 2 other experts challenged this view before a House committee. The General Motors Corporation announced another $500 million expansion and modernization program designed to enable to produce more passenger cars and trucks.
And just to pick up on what Sean was saying, a couple of years ago, the Stanley Cup was in the building and it didn't get out. It went back to Vancouver and the Bruins won it there. Before we introduce Mike, there is breaking news. You heard Bob Haller mention it just a second ago. According to ESPN, there is a deal in place for Doc Rivers to leave and be the coach of the Clippers. Of course, Bob and everyone's working on it. We'll bring you that in just a minute. Now, this is, you know, it's 85 here right now, but it's gotten so warm.
Okay. News will come. Okay, Jim McKay of Sports after this commercial break. Tomorrow, our Changing City, the Battery on 14th Street. The second of a series of articles telling how New York has changed the past 25 years. Look for it tomorrow in the New York Times, all the news fit to print.
Yeah, you're well south of Portland, but you're also quite a ways into parts of down East Maine. This area, by the way, is
excited all Manhattan tonight while you enjoy cocktails. 6-8 stories in the sky. Music and piping hot divorce. Open 4:30 to 9 except Sundays. CI 6:50 at the Rainbow Room, 65th floor, RCA building at the Rockefeller Center. Okay, now on to sports with Jim McKay. It's brought to you by the Rainbow Room at Rockefeller Center in New York. Here now is Jim McKay. Good evening, everybody, on this June 23rd, 1955. Bob Turley pitched his best game as a New York Yankee today as regaining the winning touch after 5 straight losses. The hard-thrown right-hander shut down the Kansas City Athletics 4-0 in his Brooklyn 3-hit job, supplied 7,444 customers at the stadium with some conversational choice morsels for post-game consideration. Usually a painful, slow worker because of control difficulties, Bob wrapped up his 9th victory and 95 pitches. He bagged up the final out in an hour and 59 minutes after he first ascended the mound. He retired to the first 15 batters to oppose him. And over the 9-inning route, faced 29 men, only 2 above the minimum. Hector Lopez, who blasted Turley's hopes of a no-hitter with a sharp lead-off single at the box in the 6th inning, was raced by a double play. So was Joe DeMastri, who lined to a single to left at the start of the 7th inning for Kansas City's second hit. While Bob was not successful in blading in the other 2 Athletics, who reached the bases, take charge early, barred them from advancing beyond first. They were Harry Simpson, 8th inning recipient of the only walk issued by Turley, and Bill Wilson, who looped a one-out pitch single to the center inning one night. Joe Sharp was Turley's control that did, in addition to the Simpsons' only 2 Kansas City batters reach against a 3-ball count against him, and if you added the fact that Bob was walked as many as 10 batters in a game and never fewer than 2 previously, it was hard in that expedition. He defended the 6th and back and 4th straight strikeouts to the start. The Yankees needed a good pitcher from Turley. Bob Shantz's work for the Athletics as usual, as the crafty little left-hander gave the Bombers fit. He allowed only 7 hits and survived in distance against them for the 3rd time in 3 tries. Only in the 3rd inning were the Yankees able to make any substantial headway against Shanks. In that frame that they combined 2 hits with 3 walks and a sacrifice fly to score 3 runs. They added another tally on the 2 runs in the 8th and 2 hits in the 8th.
Man and a woman, all in their 20s.
Walks to Gil McDougald and Mickey Mantle put Bobby in trouble in the 3rd, and Yogi Berra single to right drove Hank Bauer, who had forced McDougald as Bill Scudder blipped to a ground double to a right for another marker. A 3rd came on an ended carry sacrifice fly, and the 8th Berra led off with a long double 2. Center took 3rd on Scrivens infield out and scored on Elston Howard single flat the middle. Between the 4th and the 8th, Shant retired 12 Yankees in order. Billy Hunter made the super play on Jim Finnegan's pitch for a hit on the left side hole in the 2nd. Another defensive gem was carried past and quick throw on a top roll by Vic Power in the 4th. The triumph gave the Yankees a 3-game sweep over the Athletics, included next for a 4-game weekend set with the Indians. With good weather, the Cleveland series will produce the biggest stadium crowds of the season.
Outside, when fire officials arrived, it appears that the home is a total loss.
In Chicago, manager Walter Alston fielded the Riddle Dodger team today. Duke Snyder and Brett Campbell were both on the sidelines as Clem Levine, the members of the relief corps, was a starting pitcher, yet so powerful that its momentum at the Spook machine this days. It's rolled right over manager Stan Hack's Cubs again to the chagrin of 21,098. Chicago enthusiasts, the Dodgers won 7-4 the 3-game series. The defeat belted the Bruins out to the 2nd place. They fell beyond the Milwaukee Braves, who are idle today, moved into the runner-up slot 14 points beyond the 5 Flying Leaders, which is a 4-run outburst that rather Sam Jones on the 7th decides of the series finale here. It enabled Lambine to post a 6th victory against no defeats, although that once again he was unable to finish. Trailing the last of the 4-2, he vacated for a pinch hitter, Don Newcomb no less. Then after that, the Bucks shot ahead in the 7th. Carl Spooner, young lefty, turned in another dazzling relief job. Spooner held the Cubs hitless and scoreless in the last 3 innings. Buck gone 1 man, and fans have it just too short of par for the distance. He whiffed the arena 9th. Randy Jackson's homer in the 6th was the Cubs' 4th and last tally off Levine. Clamman yielded Italian in the 2nd and 2 in the 5th. The Bucks, however, managed to keep themselves in a run, and Carl Farewell tripled Jackie Robinson homered in the 2nd, and a 4th. Carl repeated the feat with a single after one of the Robbie base running specialties. Jackie kept Jones thrown to the first base until the Cub right-hander finally threw the ball right into the field, and the runner would up on 3rd. With Snyder out and nursing a bruised left knee, Bob Borowski played center fielder, and it
A little bit of closure in the situation.
was a former Cincinnati Red Leg who opened the 7th inning drive with a single. After Newcomb was hit by a straight pitch, Jones dropped the ball while covering in the 1st on Gina Gillum's grounder where the bases were filled. Pee Wee Reese spent the situation with a single to the left field, sending home to that tight end, and an intentional pass was given to Sonny Amos, filling to the bases again. Gil Hodges then singled 2 more, then Norman that virtually settled off. But Johnny Andre, the Brooks picked it up 1 in the 9th. Frill drove it with a sacrifice fly for his 3rd one batted in. Talk to Harold Brendler, Dodger trainer, has found himself up to his elbows in the patience these days. But in addition to Snyder and Campanella, there are some sore arm pitchers. Billy Lowe's and Johnny Padres will also need attention. Lowe still cannot throw a lick. Padres is allowed to warm up only lightly. In addition, Don Zimmer developed an infected jaw overnight with an infected job for Don Zimmer. It seems Zimmer picked up Pitbull in the heat of a spirited argument with Don Newcomb, or wherever Bobo Olsen went down from an Archie Moore left or right of both. They had been watching the light heavyweight championship fight on television. Other scores Mercury was Boston Blanket Detroit 7-0. Chicago White Sox did the same to Washington Senators 7-0. Was Cleveland 9, Baltimore 2. Okay, now the weather now with Peter Wiggins. Take it away, Peter. Okay, thank you, Mr. McKay. Right now, our current conditions at Central Park at 6 p.m. on this Thursday, June 23rd, 1955. Temperature 86 degrees with a humidity of 30%. It was a mild, warm, summer-like day in the tri-state area of New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut on this Thursday in New York City. Our current conditions at 6 p.m. reports it's 86 at Central Park, 88 in LaGuardia, 77 in JFK Idlewild. It was 88 in Newark, 88 in Teterboro, 88 in the White Plains, 77 in Peekskill, 82 out in Bridgeport, 83 out in New Haven, and 83 in Islebon, Long Island. Okay, weather-wise, around the nation today, widely scattered showers and thunderstorms fell today from the northeast, from Maine, southeast, westward to Ohio and Tennessee valleys. Light scattered showers were reported in portions of the Mid-Atlantic states and the westward lake region. Widely scattered thunderstorms were in northern area from the South Atlantic states westward throughout the Gulf states and Texas. Afternoon showers and thunderstorms fell in the Rockies and the Great Basin. 90-degree temperatures continued in the south.
Inspired performance.
And 100-degree temperatures were common in the southwest desert region. Elsewhere, temperatures were near seasonal levels except for the cool afternoon readings in the 60s in Maine and the Upper Lake region and along the Pacific coast. So far, forecast for tonight for the tri-state area will be partly cloudy skies and will be low about 75 in the suburbs to 85 midtown Manhattan. For New York City and vicinity for tomorrow, fair and little change in temperature tomorrow and tomorrow night. Highest temperature between 80 and 85 degrees. Moderate southwestern winds. Lowest temperature tonight about 65 degrees. General variable winds fair with little change in temperature tomorrow. General variable winds becoming moderate and southerly in afternoon and partly cloudy and not much change in temperature on Sunday. For Long Island, fair with little change in temperature tomorrow and tomorrow night with highest temperature between 80 and 85 degrees. Moderate southwestern winds about lowest temperature about 65 degrees tomorrow night and general variable winds and fair with little change in temperature on
Either lead or you get out of the way. This was Gomez's most impressive.
Saturday, general variable winds becoming moderately southerly in the afternoon. For interior eastern New York, mostly sunny tomorrow with low humidity, highest temperature in the 70s in the northern and western sectors and near 80 in the extreme southeast sector. Low temperatures in the 50s, increased cloudiness, somewhat warmer on Saturday. Western New York, generally fair tomorrow with a chance of widely scattered showers at night and highest temperature in the upper 70s and lowest temperatures in the middle 50s.
Do what I say.
Increased cloudiness sun.
This message.
This portion of New Center.
Saturday with a chance of widely scattered showers, but northern New Jersey fair with little change in temperature tomorrow night. Has temperature between 80 and 85 degrees. Moderate southwest winds, lowest temperatures tomorrow about 65 degrees. General variable winds fair with little change in temperature on Saturday. General variable winds becoming moderate southerly in the afternoon. Connecticut, partly with a little change in temperature tomorrow. Chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms tomorrow night and Saturday. And that is going to be it for the Channel 2 Robert Trout in the news for this 6 p.m. edition on June 23rd, 1955. I'm Robert Trout alongside Peter Wiggins and Jimmy Casey. I hope you have a good evening. And coming up next on Channel 2 will be
Edward Snowden left Hong Kong on Sunday, according
the WCBS Late Show, the WCBS Early Show, coming up next on Channel 2. Today's movie will be The Bells Go Down with James Mason, Tommy Trinter. Have a good evening. We'll see you at 11. Have a good evening.
The fact that he's allowed